Yo, good afternoon, my people. Salute y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yes, I'm back in the building. Good afternoon, all my good people on this Thursday. It's hot as shit, but welcome everybody to another episode of the No Duck Zone podcast. We're back again. We're gonna get into some throwback talk. Hope everybody's had a blessed day so far. The day's not over yet, but it's coming to an end. So I hope all of y'all have had a blessed day, man. Hope y'all been moving real safe out there in these streets because it's crazy out here. Of course, y'all know that. Smash that like button, man. Anybody coming in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're new, man, come and check the channel out before you just decide to subscribe because everything is not for everybody. This might not be for you over here, and it's cool. Come check it out before you criticize, before you judge. You might like it. Check it out. Get back to me and you let me know what you think of it. We did a little throwback talk earlier today where we talked Sonny Liston versus Muhammad Ali. Now we coming back with Jack Johnson, who I just finished watching the documentary, but I didn't finish the documentary. I think I waited too late to put it on. I think I put it on just about 4 something. The documentary is kind of long. No, matter of fact, I think I started about 5 o'clock. It's kind of long, so it's not even over yet. I actually got it paused right now, so I can only talk about what I have seen since I put it on, and I would have to go back to watch it again, and maybe we'll come back to talk about it. Hey, I'm good, man. I can do whatever I want, D3. I'm a boss. That's what bosses do. When you're a boss, you can do whatever you want. Um, it's a deep documentary. His life was deep, but we're gonna get into it. So let's go ahead. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. And once again, like, share, and subscribe. Okay, who's up in here? G5 Gabe, my Dallas brother. I ain't see you in a minute. What up, Five? How's Carter, man? How's the kids? How's the family doing, man? I ain't see you in a minute, bro. I gotta start calling you, man. I really do. Free, the link should be, you should have the link. I believe I sent that out. Let me see. Hold on. Let me be sure if I sent the link out. That's okay. Hey, I ain't never had a woman or anybody complain about my height, so I'm good. As long as my wife ain't complaining, that don't matter. And I whoop ass at this height. That's the great thing about being 5'7". I whoops ass. Oh, yeah, I did send it to you, Free. Send it to you 10:33 yesterday. So yeah, you got the link. Let's wait to get this going. For some reason, I'm kind of behind. Give me a second. A little behind. I think I sent it to you and underrated. Everybody fight is getting canceled. What's up with all you dudes where y'all fights is getting canceled? This shit is ridiculous. What's going on with everybody? Everybody getting, oh shit. Everybody fights getting canceled. Like, I want to know what's going on with some of y'all, man. This is crazy. I'm just reading somebody else that who's supposed to be fighting. That's crazy, y'all. I don't. I mean, things happen, but Jesus Christ, y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, give me a minute, free. All these fights getting canceled is ridiculous, man. Sometimes it ain't even the person; it be their opponent. I don't understand that. That's crazy. All right, I got you. I sent it. So with this whole Jack Johnson, which I wish I would have saved this for another. I ain't gonna say I wish I would saved it for another day. I just wish this morning or yesterday, I would have jumped on it. Hold on, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude? Okay. Wish I would have jumped on it at time. I didn't realize the documentary of his life was going to be so long. Um, I don't even know how many more minutes I would have had of it, but don't matter now. It looked like I had a while to go before I actually got to where I needed to be. Free, what up?
What up?
Oh shit, man! I was watching this documentary, man. I wanted to watch. I watched the documentary with him before, but I don't ever think I
Well,
finished it. Look like I still didn't finish it, so which means I got to go back to finishing it. But I figured, okay, since you're going live at 6:15, watch as much as you can watch, and then just go with that. Um, yo, man, you know how we talked earlier about how Sonny Liston and Muhammad Ali went through what they went through, but even before they went through what they went through, Jack Johnson went through what he went through, which it was a lot. Um, Great fighter, had a thing for women, white women. Cool. No, he had them. He had. It's cool. It is what it is. Um, and then they started finding reasons to mess with him because of him messing with a white woman was against the law. And I forgot what they called it. It was some act they called it. I forgot what they called it. And as I'm listening to this, I'm like, well, that sounds familiar. But you know what's so crazy about that? We're not talking about the 60s. Earlier, we were talking about the 60s. This is like 1902. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I'm like, shit. Just to think that this kind of shit was even going on then is crazy. Um, I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, during those times, I mean, yeah, because there was still slavery going on at that time. Um, it wasn't slavery to what like Abraham Lincoln, but it was still well, actually, it was. There were still people that owned slaves at that time. Um, they was doing it behind the scenes and you didn't really know about it, but it was still people owning slaves at that time. But that was the time where black people were not known to be heard. They was pretty much just a working man. They wasn't known to be anybody part of society. They didn't have any rights at that time, and it was I mean dealing with a white person, a white woman, yeah, it's going to be frowned upon because you wasn't looked at as a person part of society.
Yeah, Yeah. It's crazy, right? Because I don't want to say he got special treatment, but I was surprised that he was able to last as long as he did in the moments that he was alive without something actually happening, as far as somebody killing him. Um, Not just because of him being black, but because of his accomplishments, and he can fight. So he fights this guy. I forgot what his name is. Forgot it that quick. Fights this guy that haven't fought in 5 years. Okay, the guy blows up to about 300 and some pounds. They finally get the guy to come out of retirement to fight him. Now I don't want to get this mixed up because I might be saying this wrong. I'm trying to remember how I saw it. 20,000 something of coins that they put on the table for it. But anyway, he ends up fighting the guy and smoking him. Then Free, I didn't know this. He fought another guy who at the time they called it a heavyweight. They called him a heavyweight, but this dude was 5'7", 175 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, Free. I said, oh shit. And you got Jack Johnson, who's like doing some, like, he was a big guy himself.
Yeah.
To me, I don't want to say he was just walking through dudes, but shit. They were looking for the great, I hate to say it, but it's not me making it up, the great white hope. And I'm saying, well, I hope they find somebody that can be able to stop him. And
Mm.
they just couldn't. They did. They. I guess they never got the blueprint on Jack Johnson. Um, in your words, though, and I want people in the chat to participate too. In your words, what made Jack Johnson special to you?
The fact that he can do what he do by staying focused and completing the task at hand, because and like you said, they was trying to find people that would be able to beat him. But the thing was, because he was the champion and so many people was making money off of him, and so many people did like Jack Johnson, they couldn't really do anything to Jack Johnson because there was so many people that was making money off of him. Um, and if he would have lost, maybe there would have been something that would have happened to him. But as long as he was winning, he was pretty much safe. Now he still had, I'm quite sure he still had threats on his life and things like that.
Yeah,
Because any black man at that time would have, especially you beating up white guys and you dealing with white women and stuff like that. I'm almost certain that he had death threats every single day. But the problem was he was a heavyweight champion and people was making money off of him. So it wasn't really much people could do to him because so many people did like Jack Johnson, even though he was black. A lot of people did like him. And Bruce Gass said he had to leave the country. Um,
yeah, yeah,
but he was in a situation where he was able to leave the country. Um, but I mean, Jack Johnson, like I said, because of the time frame that he was in, and he was able to stay focused on his career and could compete at a high level. It was remarkable because anybody else would have been sitting here worried about all of the death threats that they were getting and all of the other stuff,
yeah.
because I'm almost certain why he's fighting. There's people yelling stuff at him all crazy and things like that. I could just imagine some of the stuff that people was yelling at him while he was in a boxing
Um,
match or getting ready for a boxing match.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of things that they won't tell us, but I'm sure there was a lot of things that he was going through. Um, and then it got to a point where he fought in 1910, and I don't know. I didn't really hear what happened because I got caught in between something. But he fought 1910 and didn't fight again till 2 years later to 1912. So I guess they was expecting, I don't know, for him to have a little ring rust, and it seemed like he picked up right where he left off at.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at Jack Johnson compared to a lot of his opponents, Jack Johnson towered over those guys. He was much bigger than a lot of those guys that he faced. And I mean, black men back then versus white men. I mean, not trying to make it sound racial or anything like that. It was just the stuff that they had to go through. They was built different because they had to be put through a lot more. White
Oh
men
yeah,
had
yeah,
it
yeah,
had it
yeah, yeah,
easy.
yeah.
So
Working on the field.
yeah, I'm just saying
Um,
white man had it easy. So black men had to
sometimes
go through a
you
lot
know what's
more.
so free? Sometimes we had to fight each other for a
Oh yeah,
certain position.
that's where the murderous row came from because they couldn't get fights with nobody else. They had to fight each other.
And stupid me, y'all, from not knowing my history. That shit really didn't hit me until I watched Django when I saw the episode, the part with the two black dudes fighting in the house, and I'm like, what the fuck? And somebody was like, dog, you that shouldn't be new to you. That's something you should have been new. And I'm like, well, fuck, excuse me for not knowing. I apologize. There's certain shit that wasn't taught to us in school. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But yeah, so we had to fight each other. We had to carry bags on our backs. We had to work out in the fields, a lot of shit. But when you look at Jack Johnson, right, he was built different. And not forget just the ring, just look at his physique. He wasn't like Cop Diesel, but if you looked at him, he was no little guy.
I mean, compared to the no the most of the guys back then, he was cock diesel. He's not cock diesel compared to
Yeah.
nowadays, but back then he was. You would back then you looked at Jack Johnson, you'd be like, man, this dude is different. You look at him like a superhero because the
Yeah.
way his
Yeah.
physique, and the things that he was able to do, a lot of people looked at Jack Johnson like a superhero.
Yeah. Um, and he seemed to get a lot of love, but a lot of hate at the same time. And I remember, I think the last fight that I told you he had, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it was one after that, that there were threats made by the KKK that if had the guy that he was fighting would lose, somebody would die. So the guy lost. The KKK went on a killing spree. They went on a killing spree. They went from hanging people to burning churches, burning crosses. They just went completely crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
that would be something to be expected. Um, it's kind of almost like the mob, some shit go wrong, you could expect something for them to retaliate. But just seeing the life that, and then what was so crazy is the woman he was dating, the first woman he was dating, not the first one, but the I think it's the second woman, the white lady that he was dating. It started messing with her so much. I guess being with him and people getting on her, she ends up committing suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But what does Jack do? I guess eventually he gets off. He gets over that. Get him a new thing. Hey, I mean, we can say he was definitely, besides him being a fighter, right? And you probably wouldn't expect that back then, but he was definitely a ladies' man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about, like I said, during that time, a ladies' man was somebody who was a tough guy. It was somebody that was able to handle himself and things like that. So being a professional fighter and beating all these guys, ladies, I mean, even nowadays, ladies, they 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 gravitate to that because
Oh yeah.
That's one thing that a lady always want. They want their man to be able to protect them. They know that they got somebody that can protect them. If they call them, they got somebody that can handle himself. So, being, especially during those times, to see him doing what he did and he didn't care about nobody. I mean, of course, he's gonna have a lot of ladies that wanted to be with him because they know. Well, I'm dealing with him. I know he'll knock anybody out. He ain't got no problem throwing his hands.
But besides him being a fighter, right, and him being black, and especially at that time where it was dangerous to do that, what, in your opinion, what you think made those ladies? We got these white ladies who are taking chances because even it can backfire on them and something can happen to them. What do you think made them take them chances? Just besides him being a fighter, what made them say, you know what? I know this is not right, but it's something about him that I love and I gotta be with him.
It could have been his personality. It could have been the way he talked. It could have been a bunch of different things because he wasn't the only one. I mean, a lot of white women they fell in love with black men during those times, and it was a lot of interracial
Yeah,
relationships during those times. It was just something about the black men that the white ladies loved. Maybe is the strength that they saw in the individual, or it could have just been their personality. I mean, it could have been a number of things.
yeah. Um, because I'm saying in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's doing this and nobody's saying nothing. But then if you look at the majority of his following, like if there was social media back at that time, his shit would have been lit because a lot of the people that was following him didn't all necessarily look like me and you. He had a lot
Yeah,
of them on his side.
I mean that was also like I said that was back in a time where a lot of black people wasn't part of society, so they didn't have the means to be able to go to the fights like that. So 99 or 98% of the crowd is going to be white people. It's going to be white people because black people wasn't part of the society back then. So
Yeah,
they didn't have the means to be able to go to these fights. The only way they can know about the fight is if they was somewhere and they can hear about the fight. They couldn't go and sit down beside a white man at a fight. They wasn't allowed to be around them.
yeah. I even noticed that watching some of the fights, and when you look into the crowd, you know, that was another thing, Free. How none of that shit never bothers him. That there's nobody in this place really that looks like me. It didn't bother him. It seemed like only thing he cared about was fighting because that's what he loved to do. And he was a traveler. He traveled, like he said in the documentary I was watching. If you had a body for me, you had somebody who wanted to fight. If I had to get on that train or however I had to get there, I was gonna get there because all I wanted to do was to fight.
Mhm.
Um, it had to be hard at that time, being a black man and then not knowing that I could possibly get shot during this fight. I could get shot walking out of this arena. I could get shot on my way to this fight. Hell, somebody could come and fucking burn my house while I'm in there. It's crazy. It's crazy, Free. And going back to what we said earlier about when we were talking about Sonny listing them, how some of these guys think that they'd have been able to survive at that time. Jack Johnson was way before Muhammad Ali and them. So just looking at what he went through, even up to their time, any way you look at it, any one of those eras would have been hard to survive in for any of these guys today.
You talking about in the sport of boxing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just in life in
I
general.
mean, 99.9% of the men that's in the sport of boxing today wouldn't survive back then. They wouldn't survive.
No.
They just wouldn't. They don't have the mentality to be able to survive doing that. They get bent out of shape of what somebody said on Twitter. They wouldn't be able to survive back then.
Listen, if the KKK told you, yo, we gonna blow your head off, and they say that shit right now, dude, like, nah, we not. Fight canceled, y'all. Sorry
Yeah,
to all my
man.
fans. I don't want to let y'all down. Fight canceled.
I can tell you right now, 99.9% of the people that's in the sport of boxing right now would not make it during that time.
Nah, because one thing back then, you sure wasn't telling nobody to. You sure wasn't inviting nobody to the Frank stand back then.
You ain't having no entourage walk you out or none of that stuff. You
Nah,
ain't you ain't having your local celebrity bring you out.
nah.
You walking out and you're gonna get a bunch of boos and a bunch of FUs and a bunch of N words and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I know everybody keeps saying, yo, man, y'all keep saying that. I'm saying, I'm just letting y'all know because I don't think a lot of y'all know the difference, but that's another story. Um, so I'm gonna have to go back to finish watching that, but far as of some of the stuff I've seen and what he was going through,
Yeah.
it
I mean,
seemed like
it's
the
not
walls
it's
were.
not many it's not many fights that you can see of Jack Johnson because of the time frame that he fought. Is
Yes, yeah,
is
yeah,
very little footage on Jack Johnson. I mean, they do have some out there, but it's very little.
yeah. It's very
Same
little.
thing with yeah, same thing with a few of these old time fighters that we talk about when we talk about fighters from back in the day. When you're fighting past the 50s, when you start getting into the 1900s and the
Yeah,
1920s and the 1930s, is not a lot of footage of those fighters. There's some, but it's not a lot. It's very minimum.
I think that's why people be like, it's not worth talking about it. Because, but I'm like, it's always worth
You know
talking
what?
about it.
There was a guy. I'm trying to think of who it was. It was a content creator. I can't think of his name, and he used to do the old fights. I forgot. He would bring up the fighters like Jack Johnson and the people that didn't have footage of them, and he was able to put it together where you can see a fight. I forgot the content creator's name. I can't remember his name. I think I'm subscribed to him. I got to go back and look. I'm trying to think. Is it Boxing Lounge? It's somebody. I gotta go back and look. I'm
Yeah,
subscribed
look
to him,
that
but
up. I ain't never heard of it, but yeah, look that up.
yeah, he. I don't know how he does it, but he does it, and he get like photos of the fighters from back in the day, and he finds out their style of fighting, and he put it in the computer system that he uses, and he able to put together matches from back in the day that people wasn't able to see, and he'll put those matches in, and he'll put in how the outcome end up, whatever the outcome was, he'll have that as the outcome, but you will be able to see them actually fight. Damn, I gotta remember who it is. I gotta go back in my subscribers
Yeah, you
and
gotta go back. You
figure
gotta
out
go back
who
to
it is.
that. Yeah, you gotta go back to that. I would like to see who that fellow is and tap in with him. But it seemed like the walls were closing in on him. They had arrested him. They locked him up. It was for about 4 days. Uh, and then he got out. I forgot what they said he did. They got him on something, but it seemed like they just started picking at him. Free.
Yeah, yeah, that's what that I mean. That's the only way they can. I mean, the same thing they did with Muhammad Ali. They wanted to draft Muhammad Ali into the war because they couldn't get nobody to beat him. And so the only way that they can get the title from him was to draft him into the war. Um, that's the reason why today, I stopped. Not to. I stopped. Yeah. Well, today now it doesn't matter to me. But when I had got out of the service, I was still deployable. If a war was to break out, because with after you get out of the service, you still have up to 8 years where they can call you back if a war breaks out.
Yeah.
Um, I was sitting here just counting the days. I was like, man, they better not call me. When that whole Desert Storm, I mean the Afghanistan war, when that joint broke out, I was like, man, they better not call me. They better not call me. But and then once it got past the 8 years, and they said, oh, they might draft. I told my brother, I said, hey, they're gonna call you before they call me. He like, why they gonna call me? You was in the military. That's the reason why. I already served my time. You didn't. So they'll call you before they call me. But now
Yeah, yeah.
we both too old. They'll call our sons before they reach out to us.
Shit.
We too old now.
Okay. Don't call my babies, 'cause they ain't gonna answer the phone for your ass. You gonna be shit out of luck.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I mean, yeah, from now the I mean, it's always been that way, but it was 18 to 35 you can be drafted. And that was the reason why 18 became the legal adult age, because they needed people for the Vietnam War. They needed people for the Vietnam War, and in order to get people for the Vietnam War, they had to started making these young men a legal adult to get them for the Vietnam War. So that's why 18 became
well,
an adult age, but you're not really grown until you're 21.
well, thank you, America, for making that legal age of 18. Because once I got then, I was able to buy a pack of Newports and do what I want. So thank you, America. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like you said, it's not much out on him. But what amazes me, Free, is how he was able, I don't want to say get away, but how he was able to be successful the way he was. That
I
was
mean,
kind
it wasn't amazing, so to speak. It was just he just had to keep winning. As long as he was winning, he was there wasn't it wasn't really it wasn't nothing that was going to happen to him. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing that was going to happen to him. As long as
yeah.
he was winning, he was going to stay successful.
But
Once he lost, that's when everything turned for the worse, because they like, okay, he got beat. Is no we don't need him anymore.
what surprised me was just the love he was getting. Because rather if he was winning or losing, just being a black man, being a Negro, I'm like, man, they gonna end
Yeah.
up doing something to this
I
dude.
mean, like I said, as long as you can make money for them, they're gonna love you. I mean, that's for anything. Even the slaves. As long as you was a good house dude, you was gonna be loved. Like the ones that was able to come in the house, the quote unquote Uncle Toms, they got love from their quote unquote masters. They got love from them. They was able to sleep in the house. They was able to eat regular food. It was the ones that was outside the field dudes. They was the ones that was getting crapped on because they didn't respect them. They was the ones. They were the workers. So
Yeah.
they did whatever they needed to do. The ones that was in the house was the good old boys. They was the ones that the slave masters go to when they need to find out who's getting out of line. Like, hey, who's starting up this ruckus, and then they will go out and find out who's starting the problems, and they will go back to the slave master and say, hey, it's this one right here.
When you look at what he went through to Muhammad Ali to every different era, you know what I'm saying? And then you look at the way these fighters act today, the way they talk today, and things like, a lot of these fighters from back in that time, from Jack Johnson to Muhammad Ali, did what they did so y'all can have a better boxing career today. Every era was supposed to be different from the next era. But then when you look at some of these guys today and you go, man, it's crazy to see where boxing is going. Even though
That's
you're not expecting it to be the same, But when you look at it, you go, man, this ain't what these dudes fought for. They didn't fight. They
That
didn't fight for boxing to be like this today.
that's one of the reasons why I say Floyd Mayweather would never be the best of all time. He would never be the greatest of all times in my book because he didn't have to deal with that. He didn't have to deal with segregation and things like that. The times that he came up in, it was it was somewhat peaches and cream compared to Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson and Jack Johnson and Sonny Liston and those guys. It was peaches and cream. If Muhammad Ali was fighting during the time of Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard, man, Muhammad Ali would be he would be unstoppable because he wouldn't have none of the problems that he had to worry about outside of the ring. He wouldn't have
Yeah,
had none of those problems that he had to worry about. Now, I'm not talking about him doing the things with the wives and all that. That's something that he,
yeah,
he chose to do. I'm talking about with society. He wouldn't have to worry about none of that. So that's the reason why Floyd would never be the best ever in my book because he didn't have to worry about going through that. Like these guys fought at the highest level, going through segregation and all that. They was able to do something that Floyd ain't never. Floyd ain't never have to worry about people hating on him that way. Now they had people that hated Floyd because of his mouth or his arrogance,
yeah.
but they didn't hate Floyd just because of his skin color. He never had
Nah.
that.
Oh, we coming. I'm bringing him up next. BC. Oh yeah, he coming next.
Yeah,
He matter of fact, next Thursday. I got him
yeah.
next. Oh, Mr. Joe Lewis. He next. Oh, we gonna take it back in the time, ladies and gentlemen. We gonna take it back. Please believe that. Yeah. You know what, Free? I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, that's the
Never looked
like
at that.
people say Floyd not the best. No, no, it has. I mean, yeah, the ring has something to do with because Muhammad Ali was a great fighter in the ring, but it was the stuff that he had to worry about before he even made it to the ring. It was that he had to worry about. Floyd ain't lived through those times, so
No.
Floyd would never be the greatest of all times in my book. They were like, oh, but it's inside the ring that matters. Yeah, but he had the
Oh
times
man.
where he didn't have to worry about segregation. Y'all don't understand how that plays a part with people trying to get ready for a fight. You got people sitting out front of your house talking about they're gonna kill your entire family, or if this person don't win, we're gonna murder this
Oh,
person, this and
they
that.
burning, they burning crosses. Like
Yeah,
y'all don't know what that is.
no, no, he didn't have to deal with none of that. So no, I like I said, I mean everybody has their opinion. I'm not knocking nobody for their opinion,
Yeah.
but that's why I say I would never have Floyd as the greatest of all time because he didn't have to live through those times. Like when you say greatest of all times, the key word is all times. So that means that man had to go through something. He didn't go through anything. He didn't. They went through a
No.
lot. He didn't. Floyd didn't get put in jail because he didn't want to serve the country. Floyd got put in jail because he did something outside the ring.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali said, I'm not going to war because those people ain't do nothing to me. Why am I going over there
Jack,
and killing
Jack,
those people?
Jack,
They didn't
Jack
do nothing to me.
Johnson. Jack Johnson went to prison for dating a white woman, and Muhammad went from not wanting to go to war. And you got these other dudes going to prison for beating up their ladies. It's totally different.
Yeah, like Jack Johnson got thrown in jail because he loved a white woman. You got thrown in jail because you beat your woman. There's two different things.
Two different things.
There's two different things.
Two different things. Nah, you right. It's two different things, and it's hard to compare it. You can't compare it. It's a big difference. And I think some of y'all need to know the difference with that. But of course, like I said earlier, y'all are not going to care about that because there's always popularity versus the truth.
Now,
And
now
it's
when you
like
talk
popularity
about
always
when you talk
wins.
about when I say I don't like to get in people's personal lives, that's not personal. That's something that's national. People talked about what was going on during segregation. That was stuff that was going on in everyday lives. That wasn't
Yeah,
something that was personal.
yeah.
That was something that he had to go through in order to train. That he had to go through that going to a fight, being in the fight, after the fight. So that is two different time frames. And like I said, nah, he would never be the greatest of all times in my book because he didn't have to go through the things that these guys went through and still was able to perform at the highest level
You know
and be considered great.
the sad thing about some of our fighters, as the generation goes on, how they know who these people are, but then at the same time don't acknowledge them of what they done. And like I said earlier, everybody has opened the door for somebody. So, well, Jack Johnson, he didn't open the door for nobody. How you figure that? Muhammad Ali didn't open the door for nobody. How the fuck you figure that? Just because you're not familiar with them, that means they didn't open the door, huh? Because they didn't go 50-0 like your favorite fighter, that means they never opened the door for anybody. Everybody
Yeah.
opens the fucking door for somebody, y'all. Do we have to go through the same shit we went through early this morning? I hate repeating myself because it irritates me. Now I know why my father used to beat me because he hate fucking repeating himself. Why do we have to repeat ourselves? Everybody opens up the door for somebody. I don't
Yeah.
understand why y'all can't understand that shit.
No, see,
And
like, and see, like, there's nothing that you could say. There's not a. I don't. Is there a fighter that you say Muhammad Ali had an opportunity to fight this guy, but they didn't fight? Who's that fighter for Muhammad Ali?
you said what? Run that by me again?
Do Muhammad Ali have a fighter that they said there was an opportunity for these two guys to fight, but they never fought? Who was that guy for Muhammad Ali? Muhammad Ali fought everybody.
No God, I ain't never heard of no. Yeah, he fought everybody. I ain't
He
never
fought
heard of it.
everybody.
Shit ain't never come across my table that this dude didn't fight Ali because he feared him or Ali feared that dude. I ain't never heard shit. So yeah.
Muhammad Ali fought everybody. They told Muhammad Ali, don't fight George Foreman.
Oh
Muhammad
my
Ali said, man,
God.
no, that man is not leaving this island. We fighting.
Oh
He's not
my
leaving this
God.
country. We fighting. They didn't want Muhammad Ali to fight George Foreman. He
They
was like,
said
no, that man is
they
not. He's
said
not leaving.
Big
We fighting.
they said Big George gonna kill him.
Right. Right.
He made Big
Like,
George look average.
and see, there's people that you could say is attached to Floyd's name and say, hey, these two guys had an opportunity to fight and they didn't fight. I can't think of one for Muhammad Ali. Yeah, Muhammad Ali didn't
It's
win
a
every fight.
busload. It's a
Muhammad Ali
busload.
didn't. Muhammad Ali didn't win every fight, but that doesn't take away from his greatness.
So
Daggone, Michael Jordan didn't win every daggone game, but it didn't take away his greatness. It didn't take away his
yeah.
greatness. What he brought to the sport. What I mean, if you want to be technical, everybody blame what's going on today on Floyd. So can't really say he brought greatness to the sport. You can say he brought a lot of ducking to the sport because everybody want to protect that. Oh, they just want to get a big bag.
It's messed up, but yeah. And you notice when everybody started losing they started being real protective of their career.
Yeah, I mean, like
Started getting
it's
real
like
protective.
it's a like when like I understand Floyd. They say, oh, well, Floyd fought the most champions in the sport of boxing. Floyd got 26 championships. Well, let me ask you a question. How do a man that only fought in what, 3, maybe 4 weight classes, get 26 championships, but never lost and never became undisputed.
Oh
Because
boy.
he was dropping the belt. The man dropped the belt. Somebody got the title, and then he go fight him and win the title. That's not doing anything. You just fighting somebody that dropped the. Why you drop the title? Why you just didn't fight everybody that had a title and become at 130? Undisputed at 147. Become undisputed at 152. Well, he only fought at 52 a couple times, but
Yeah,
those
a
other
couple
3
times.
weight
I forgot
classes.
that. I forgot that time when he fought at 52. I don't remember, but
He
yeah.
fought at 52 for Canelo Alvarez, and I believe he fought at 52 for Miguel Cotto. So I mean, he fought at 54 a couple times. It wasn't that many times, but why not just fight all the guys that had the championship and become undisputed?
Yeah.
See see, like people listen to the fact that he had 26 championships. Yeah, he did.
Of course.
Because he dropped all the belts. He dropped the belt and then got him back.
Of course, they hit that number 26. Oh my God.
The man didn't like the situation, so he dropped the belt. They was going to force him to fight somebody. He didn't like that situation, so he dropped the belt. And then he went back and got it.
You gonna make me fight Antonio Margarita? Nope.
Yeah, that's all he was doing. That's why
you gonna make me fight Paul Williams? Nope. No. I will not fight him, sir. No. I mean, yo, it is what it is, man.
No,
what's
like
up?
I said,
My best friend, my everything, my world, my ride or die, my partner in crime, Mrs. McClain. What's up, baby? Yeah, man. Damn, Freed. Now that you put it like that, that's crazy, though, right? You know what, Freed? You started some shit now.
I'm just saying that
because we might have to talk about. We're gonna have to get deep into that. I know this is Jack Johnson talk, but this is also boxing talk where I think people need to know the difference. Freed, what you just said was very important, and now I don't want people to go because this is what people do, right? Because you have a lot of, like I said, social media and being a content creator is just looked at as clout chase and causing controversy. But this is no hate towards Floyd. This is no hate. We're not taking nothing he has done in his career. When you think about it.
No, I'm not saying Floyd not great. I'm just saying he's
of course. But it makes sense what you're saying.
I'm not saying he's not great at all. He's just not the greatest of all times.
Not the greatest of all time. If people take the time to pay attention, and if you follow this career, I mean, people are gonna think whatever they want to think. But if you take the time to follow his career, if you followed it, y'all, you wouldn't label it as the greatest of all time. Can you say the greatest in his era? Of course you can.
Yeah.
But the greatest of all time is a big title.
That's like Canelo. Right now, people keep saying Canelo is the greatest of his era. I mean, ain't really much you can argue about it. I mean, I mean, you can debate it, but debate it against who?
Yeah.
Who else you say is better than Canelo during Canelo's era? When you go to debate, who are you going to put up there and say, okay, this person is better than Canelo? Who would you put up there?
They're gonna put somebody. They're gonna put somebody up there that they wanted to see him fight. That the fight didn't happen. That's what they're gonna do. First person they gonna run to.
But even if you put somebody up there that you want to see him fight, would you say he's greater than Canelo? You might wanted to see Canelo fight him, but would you say he's greater than
And
Canelo?
you know what? You know what? In their eyes, yeah, in their eyes, because these people, like I said, they just fans off of a fighter who looks like them. That's all. That's all. You hear about the guy having a couple of knockouts, a couple stoppages. Oh, I'm a fan of him. And they really don't be knowing who they going for. They really don't be knowing,
Like
man.
David Benavidez. That I mean, that's a good name you can bring up. I say David
I was
Benavidez.
thinking of David. That's why I said, if you
Yeah, no,
ask
I'm just saying. But
who,
see, the thing is, David Benavidez is not of Canelo's era. He's the era after Canelo.
yes,
He's not part of the era that's part of Canelo is the Charlos, the Boo Boo Andrade,
who
the
was that?
let me see who else. Boo Boo
We
Andrade.
can't even say
Oh,
Plant.
Bud Crawford, Earl
Yeah,
Spence, Sean Porter,
yeah. Danny
Keith
Garcia.
Thurman. Those guys, Danny Garcia.
Hell. Even Laura, even though he's not in that class, even Laura. You know what I
Those
mean?
guys are part of Canelo's era.
They're part of it. Yeah.
Because
But
David Benavidez is only what 28, 29. He's going to be fighting long after Canelo is
let me
done.
tell you something. David and Sebastian Findora, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Tim Zhu are in that category because I believe Tim is about, I think, still in his. What is Tim?
Because I mean, technically, well, no, Tank is 30 or Tank
Yeah,
either turns
Tank is
30
about
or
30. Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I think Tank's about 30.
Yeah, Tank either he just turned 30 or he's about to turn 30 this year. I know he's 29 because him and Frank Martin is the same age. So either he
Matter of
just
fact, I
turned
think him
30.
and Frank Martin was the same age when they fought, wasn't they?
Yeah, they're the same age. That's what I say.
So Tank might have
Him,
been
Frank.
31 now. That Frank Martin fight happened when? Last year? Was it
That
last
was
year?
last year. That was last year.
Okay, so Tank should have been
He's
31
at
already.
31. He's at
Yeah.
31. He's either about to turn 30 or he is 30 right now. One of
He
the
got to
two.
be 30. He got to
Because
be
he's the
30.
same
Yeah.
age as Erickson Lubin.
Okay. But when you look at Sebastian Fedora and then you look at David Benavidez, you're like, okay, yeah, them boys are in the, yeah. But Canelo, hell no, man, you crazy? I ain't even heard of Benavidez when Canelo was around. So yeah, y'all got to start knowing y'all eras and when your fighters started. You can't just be putting your fighter in the whole era that his ass didn't start in. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean he can't fight anybody from another era. That's not what we're saying. But y'all can't just be throwing y'all fight in the era y'all want to throw him in. That's not how that works. Because I want to see him fight. Yeah, my man is in this era. Oh man, you can't. That's not how that works. It's not how that works.
My bad.
Nah, you go.
No, nah, yeah, but I was saying, him and Erickson Lubin is the same age. Tank and Erickson Lubin is the same age. Tank, Erickson Lubin, Frank Martin, they all the same age.
Yeah. But you know, when we speak on being the greatest of all time, I mean, come on now. We all know the answer to that. That's not debatable. That's nothing to keep going back and forth for. That's not something we got to do our research on. We got to do our homework on. We know what it is already. Canelo been fighting a minute. Yeah, he been fighting for a minute. Canelo the fought through. Start out at what 15, 16 as a pro. Shit, that boy done been through the eras. His era is an era. Shit.
Canelo been fighting since he was 16 years old.
That man era is an era.
Yeah. Because
Shit.
you got to think about it. Canelo's been fighting. He's been fighting since he was 16, so he's been fighting for 17 years. He's been
He
fighting for
wasn't.
17 years.
We ain't even talk
And
about him
and and
starting
that's
out as
just
a grown man.
and
We talking about him starting out as a youngin.
and that's just the pros. That's not even the amateurs. That's
That's
just the
not even
pros.
when he started out because he was really a shorty coming into this. So by the time he was a shorty, up until he got 16 and he went pro, hell, he was already experienced. What did he start boxing at? 7, 8 years old? He was
Who?
already experienced. So
That's
you know what I mean? Canelo
that's why.
been Canelo been going at it for years. Listen, despite of us not liking his opponents or not, it doesn't even matter. That doesn't take away from how long he has gave this sport his blood, sweat, and tears. That I can't take away from him. Tay Tay, what's up, my Long Island sister? Um, we can't take that away. Some people would like to take it away, but I gotta recognize real. You know what I mean? He didn't did, but like, what's the definition to y'all about somebody being the greatest? Because we so quick to
Tay
throw
Tay.
that, we so quick to throw the greatest around. We quick to throw that word around and don't know the definition of it though. What's the definition of it though, for real? Oh, everybody don't speak at one time. What's the definition?
Like greatest in my eyes is greatest is in all aspects of life. You're not just boxing, but what you did outside of boxing that brought more eyes to boxing. Now Floyd, like I said, Floyd is a great fighter. He brought eyes to the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
But like Muhammad Ali and Jack Johnson and Sonny Liston and guys of that era, they paved the way for guys like Floyd Mayweather. And
Yeah.
if it wasn't for those individuals, mainly Jack Johnson, if it wasn't for those individuals, we wouldn't have seen no Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, no Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike
Nah.
Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, George Foreman, Ken Norton, Joe Frazier, Joe Louis. We wouldn't have seen none of those guys.
No, he
Well,
wouldn't.
I put Joe. A matter of fact, I put Joe Louis. Joe Louis is part of those guys as well. Joe Louis is a part of those guys.
Um, like I said, they have opened the door for us. Well, not us, because I don't want to say fighters, but I want to say us, because when they opened up the doors, it wasn't even just about you being a fighter. A lot of shit that they went through for us as black people. So it's bigger than boxing, like I always say. So when I see the way we carry ourselves today, sometime, man, I'd just be like, especially in this boxing, sometime, I'm like, bro, come on, man, y'all doing a little too much.
I mean, Muhammad Ali made it fashionable to talk shit about your fighters while you getting ready for a fight. He made it fashionable to be talking trash
Oh
on the
man,
stage.
but he called George Foreman ugly so many times. You ain't never heard.
He said, "Your mama don't even love you."
Yo, how you tell somebody your mama don't? Your mama don't even love you. Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
Joey.
but yeah, that's what I say. Like it's a lot of things that goes with being the greatest. Like you know, Muhammad Ali was an undisputed champion.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people don't even realize that Muhammad Ali was an undisputed champion. Hey, no, the hell he wasn't. He only had one belt. There was only one belt at that time. That means he was undisputed. He was the
Stupid.
champion.
There wasn't 100 weight classes and 500 belts and
It
Like
was
you
only
see
one belt.
today,
You had to beat the champion to be the champion. There was
in the
no
words
three,
of
four
Ric Flair,
championships.
in the words of my man Ric Flair, to be the man, you had to beat the man.
There was only one championship. So either you beat that man or that man retired or he moved out of the weight class. One of the two. Well, since he was at heavyweight, it was either you beat that man or that man retired. And if you
Even
wanted to be
going to,
champion.
but you know what? Even going up to Sugar Ray and them, by the time they came in, you still had that guy you had to beat.
Because
You still had that one guy that you go, okay, all of us is all in the same weight class. One belt though.
yeah, it was only one belt. And
One
then
belt.
they came out with a second belt when Larry Holmes became the IBF champion. And then the WBA came about, and then the WBO.
You think
But
you
it
could
was
beat me? I think I could beat you. You think you the best at 47? I think I'm the best at 47. All right, well, let's do this then.
it was only the WBC champion. That was the only championship belt you can get. If you that's the reason why it's the most prestige belt because it was the first championship belt that was ever made.
Yeah,
That's the reason why it's the most prestige belt.
yeah, yeah.
Because the guy that started the WBA, him and the guy that started the WBC, they were partners. They both was a part of the WBC. They had a disagreement. He broke off and started the WBA. He wanted to start his own sanctioning body, so he started the WBA. But they was both partners, and they had the WBC together.
Mm, yeah, it's a lot of history and things that people don't know. Not that they don't know, and this is the reason why I always say we have to take the time to learn all this. This is very, very, very important. But Jack Johnson had a. I wish there was more stuff on him. Even though I didn't finish watching the documentary, I'm halfway through it. I'm probably gonna go back to watch the rest of it. But hey man, shout outs to him, man. Shout outs to Jack, man. Shout outs to fighters like him and Muhammad Ali and all the ones who paved the way.
Yeah, I mean, you
Shout out
got
to
to
them.
pay homage to the ones before you. You got to. It's just like me paying homage to the people that came before me in this security field because for a long time back in the 1800s, the first police department that was in the city of DC was a special police officer, which is a security team now. That's part of the security team.
Mm.
They were the special police officers. They hired a security team to do the not in the to do the inauguration. We was the special police officers was the ones that was protecting the president for the inauguration. They didn't have DC police officers. It was special police officers. And then they started the police department shortly after that. I think it was probably about 10 years later they started the police department for Washington D.C. But for a long time it was a security team. They didn't have police departments.
Yeah. So with that being said, you have to pay your homage, man. Um, and going back to Jack Johnson, like I said, just to see how when you look at that black and white and you look at the video and just to see that, man, it should make us proud to be what we are today. It should be making us proud black men, because I can only,
Look at these lazy motherfuckers right here.
I
Look at
can
these
only
lazy
imagine
motherfuckers.
going through.
Look at
Well,
these lazy.
it's man, come on, free. It's 7:20, man. What you expect them to be doing? Running around?
I fed them niggas. I took them to the dog park and ran them niggas raggedy because they kept
Oh,
running in the
that's
cage.
why you gonna say, look at them like they
They,
just laying there. You did that. Come on, free.
look how he looking though. This nigga got his nose stuck through the cage. Jazzy just
Look
laying
at looking at you though.
there. But nah, these
Jazzy
niggas
over
kept they
there
kept playing it. They
chilling.
kept playing in they kept playing in the cage. I said, all right, I got a trick for y'all. I know how to get y'all tired real quick. I fed them, took them outside to the dog park, and ran their ass around the dog
Jazzy,
park.
Jazzy chilling. Jazzy chilling over there. She like, yo, I don't know what he got
Jazzy
going
about to.
on. I'm
Jazzy
chilling.
look like she look like one of them kids. You know them kids that be trying to watch TV, but their eyes getting heavy, but they don't want to go in the room and go to sleep. That's what Jazzy looking like right now. Her eyes keep closing, but she
I
keep
be
trying to
like
pop them
that.
back
I
open.
be like that all the time. At times, Tiff gotta be like, she gotta wake up and be like, yo, go to sleep, yo. Look at you, yo. You look
she
tuned
try
out, yo. Go to sleep.
she trying to look at me, but her eyes keep closing. Like she
Want to
tired as
see
hell.
what she want to see what move you making, right? If you going to get something to eat, you know, as soon as you go get something to eat, they stand straight up because they think they about to get a bite to eat. But I fed you
Look, she
already,
popped her
so
head up. As soon as I walk close to the cage, they pop their head up.
what she thinks she getting, son?
Look, if I walk over by the cage, they're gonna pop their head up.
Jazzy.
Look at she like, man, are we going somewhere or not? Let me know. If we ain't going
Man,
nowhere,
they just
I'm gonna
went
lay back
walking. They
down.
shouldn't want to go nowhere else. You just took them walking, didn't you?
She looking at me like, are we going somewhere or not? If not, I'm just gonna
No,
lay
but
back down.
didn't you just take them walking somewhere else they want to go? You
No,
just took
I'm
them
just saying
walking.
that's
Oh,
how she
yeah, I
looking
mean,
at
yeah,
me.
that's the look they give you. But I'm about to say they
Yeah.
shouldn't want to go nowhere else. Jazzy might want to. I don't know. She might be on that type of time. He's staying up. He keeping his eye on you. He like, nah, let me watch dude. Dude might try to go back out again.
I'm
I ain't trying to
surprised.
be with him.
I'm surprised he even laying down. That nigga 4 months. That nigga be bouncing around like he been eating sugar all day.
I ain't with all that because after a while, I'm gonna tell you, sit your ass down, baby or no baby.
Yeah.
Sit your ass down. Sit.
He looking at me like that because he got popped a couple of times. That I cleaned his damn cage 4 times this morning. Soon as I finished cleaning the cage, he pissed in the cage again, and I
Is he
popped him.
drink?
I cleaned the
Is he
cage. He
drinking?
pissed in the cage again.
Is he drinking water? Is that what's making him go? What is
No,
he doing?
that nigga ain't had no water this morning. That nigga just pissed. Soon as I
Well,
clean the cage, I go to the kitchen and look back in the cage. There's another puddle. I'm like,
did
come
they?
on.
So when
I
you
should have
got
put a
him, did
camera
they?
on me because I think
But
I should have put a camera on because I think one of those times Jazzy might have pissed on it and said I'm gonna get his ass in trouble. I think because Jazzy don't pee in the
I
cage.
don't. You know what? If she's doing that, she's foul.
Look,
But they
Jazz,
didn't tell you he had a bladder problem, right? They didn't tell you he pee a lot, right?
nah, it's just like a regular baby pee every so often.
Yeah, but I don't want to keep cleaning that shit, and then I go to clean it, and then two
I
minutes
didn't even
later,
get a
you start
chance.
peeing.
Like I was going, as soon as I go, I clean it up. I go put the trash can back, and when I look back over there, is they peed again. I'm like, I ain't even get a chance to even take you outside yet.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't get that. But yeah, gotta know your history, y'all. Learn it. Because we're definitely gonna be coming back with Joe Lewis next week. And I'll finish watching the Jack Johnson and bring some of that back up to y'all. But we just trying to get y'all to understand that boxing is bigger than what it is today. So don't. It's okay to be caught up in what you see today because hey, it's what you know is what you know. But just know that boxing goes way back further than what you see today. That's all we trying to tell y'all. Um, you going live today, Free?
Tonight, Mrs. Fields will be here, be at BBO tonight.
Yo, Miss Fields, yo, you gonna stop fronting on me, Miss Fields. If you don't come to my channel, I'm gonna take the lipstick off of you. For real.
Yeah,
Nah, shout out to
she
Miss Fields.
BBO said he got her as a regular on Thursdays.
Nah, tell BBO he can't have that spot because he can't do that, son. She was over my channel first. I'm gonna have to call him and be like, leave Miss Fields alone, son. Leave her alone. Leave her alone, son. Nah, that's dope. That's what it's about growth, having everybody on everybody's channel. Um, that's a dope thing. I gotta get Tay Tay and her over here. I gotta get I told them I'm gonna get the sisters over here. Some way, somehow, because we don't really have no other females in the chat right now. You know what I'm saying? All the females that we did know, they dismantled right now. So, thank God Tay's sticking around. She's probably the only original one. So, which is great. We love having her around. But yeah, we're gonna get together. We definitely gonna make something happen though. But go back, y'all, and look at the repeat. Look at the, watch this over again. If you haven't seen the Jack Johnson story, look it up on YouTube because I will be coming back to finish this topic off. I'm gonna finish it off, and you're gonna say, well, what does that have to do with the Joe Louis? Another man. We talked about Muhammad Ali and Jack Johnson. Oh, we gonna definitely Joe Louis. We're gonna explain to you why he fits in all this too.
Yeah.
He was just as great, but we're gonna talk about that next Thursday. I'm gonna make sure I line it up so we have that. So what time is the BBO going? 8 o'clock?
9.
Oh shit, I still gotta get off anyway, so it don't even matter. All right, so look, man, shit, tomorrow, y'all. We'll hit the morning chop up in the mall. Then Friday afternoon, we're gonna do all the fights Friday, y'all. Mine, what up? We're gonna do all the fights Friday. All the fights, all the fights. Steady just staying on one fight. We just gonna run through all of them. Steady just
Tomorrow
talk
is
about,
Friday.
huh?
Tomorrow is Friday.
That's what I'm saying. Friday. We're gonna run through all the fights. That's why I said tomorrow I'm gonna do the morning chop up, and then later on that day I'm gonna do the fights. I'm gonna try to do. Well, I can't. I ain't gonna be able to come and do two lives every damn day because obviously, that don't sit too well with Streamyard. That kind of pisses them off when I do that. Free. They want to start telling me I'm doing a little too much. Free. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I don't get upset because I can go on regular YouTube. I can go on Instagram. So they can't stop They can't stop the grind. But yeah. So tomorrow morning chop up. And then in the afternoon, we gonna talk about every single last goddamn fight that's going on for this week.
Yep.
Now, there's no fights for tomorrow, right? Free tomorrow night. There's nothing, right?
Nah, not
I
tomorrow.
I ain't seen nothing for tomorrow night. No Golden Boy. Yeah, yo. All right, so it's no Golden Boys, no none of that. Okay, cool then. What? Like I said, I'll be back here Friday. Please watch the replay of this. Subscribe to the channel. Um, I want to stay a little longer, y'all, but really I can't. I gotta bust moves. It's Thursday, so I gotta bust some moves right now, man. I got some stuff I need to be clearing up in here. But I appreciate y'all. Free, I see you over there on BBO's channel. Everybody go subscribe to BBO. Go subscribe to Miss Frills, D Free, all my people out there moving, man. Catch y'all later. Y'all know what it is. It's the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go.
All right.